Have you ever watched a movie that was so bad you took it personally? Well, I have. So I've decided that going forward, all bad movies I'm going to roast in person. My name's Steven, and welcome to Hot Strike. Six Underground is so bad it makes everything else the Netflix releases look good. And I'm not even going to compare it to a good movie because that's way too much of a stretch. Even if I was going to compare Six Underground to a movie I personally think isn't great, let's say like Fast 9, that's an insult to Fast 9. That movie, although not critically acclaimed, is entertaining as all hell. Frankly, Six Underground has more in common with a Dude Perfect video, and that's still an insult to them because those guys are great. Let's just compare this music selection for Six Underground to one of their trick shot videos.
We're back at it again. Yeah! This is not another story. This is not another trick.
This movie really feels like it was Michael Bay trying his best to relate to today's kids. And you know what? He may have accomplished that because Six Underground is the first movie ever for iPad kids. You know those kids who are raised by screens and have the attention span of a goldfish? Yeah, those kids. Now don't worry, I can talk all the smack I want because these kids, they're not watching my videos. Cheers, fellas. I'm method. That could have been apple juice, but that was actually whiskey, and it's like 10:30 in the morning on a Thursday. Cheers. I mean, come on, this movie has dick and poop jokes.
David Nelson! Is the David the one with the really small...
Yep, that's it.
You want to get out and compare, or should we maybe think about going?
Nah, I'm
Yep,
good.
let's go.
It has people flipping off the camera so it feels edgy, and parkour, which is pretty much everything a kid would want to watch on YouTube. The opening of the movie starts with a voice in the present narrating about 3 years ago, then says, never mind, let's flash back to 4 months ago instead. Then it has the audacity to flash back to 17 minutes before the time we already flashed back to. The movie starts with this super long car chase, and we get some amazing lines from Dave Franco like,
There is nothing else I'd rather be doing with my life. I don't care.
Whoa! The backseat driving going on. She squirted. Oh, that was literally, she squirted.
Yeah, we probably could have used a warm-up mission.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm just getting warmed up.
but sadly this car chase ends when we find out Dave isn't forklift certified. Damn shame, really. I mean, this is the team's very first job, and it has resulted in the destruction of Florence and the death of one of their team members. And this is the main problem of the movie. They aren't particularly good at their job of being a super secret ghost squad, and Ryan Reynolds is a terrible team leader. He himself is compulsive, and his decision making is mediocre at best.
Well, I managed the risk. I'm sorry.
Ryan is playing his usual sarcastic and witty character that's become pretty default since Deadpool. It works with some movies like Red Notice, where he's playing a world-class thief who is used to working alone, but for Six Underground, where he's supposed to be the fearless leader of this ghost squad, it doesn't work out at all. He needs to be the foundation of the team who can confidently guide them through these dangerous missions, but instead he's always cracking jokes as if he was the comic relief character.
We're not a family.
Not the Cleavers.
What?
Cleavers. Ward, June,
No.
Leave It to Beaver,
Leave it to Beaver?
Jerry Mathers,
No.
Tony Dow,
No.
Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont.
Never heard of it.
No, nobody watches Nick at Night.
French don't watch shit like that.
Millennials, French people. Let's just grab the head.
But don't worry, he does say motherfucker, so we know it's a serious Ryan Reynolds we're getting in this movie.
Squish it, you motherfucker!
And when they're doing their missions, I'm not sure what he even brings to the table. On this mission, he just leaves a guy behind and watches the entire time. Leaves a man for dead and does nothing else. The team he put together is also terrible, and let me say I hate these little title card things with their numbers. It's just ridiculous. It's awful. I hate it. 6, the driver, is actually helpful. Too bad they don't replace him with another driver after he gets forklifted. However, 7 is helpful as a sniper. 5, the doctor, who is making this face while covered in blood for some reason. Also, the only time we see her doing anything medical related is in the first 5 minutes. That's it. 4, the Skywalker. Why did they have to use Skywalker? A Star Wars reference? Really? The guy is great at parkour, but I don't know why he is on the team. I mean, I guess parkour can be helpful. The first mission, he just happens to be on top of this building, and, you know, I don't know what he's doing up there. He's just up there. Just up there. He's a Skywalker. 3, the Hitman, who does actually contribute to the team, but I'm not sure what he's laughing at because he's just literally reading a book in the car by himself in this slow-mo shot here. 2, I don't even know how to say this. It feels like a slur every time I say it. 2, the CIA spook, who, with the Hitman, does all the work. They're the only people who infiltrate buildings, kill people, you know, can use guns, because most of the time people just aren't shooting, Ryan's just around. And finally one, the billionaire, who faked his own death to start this elite squad of idiots. Ryan Reynolds' master plan is to overthrow a dictator who has been committing war crimes and make his brother be in charge of the country instead. Which is an insane plan, because at first when I watched the movie, I didn't think the brother would even want the job. It just didn't seem like he wanted to do it. But eventually, after just doing one more job, we're nearing the end of the movie, and that job was just really just extracting this guy from his penthouse, broadcasting him on TV, and saying, let's start a revolution. Oh, and during that job, they leave the parkour guy behind again. I'm not going to call him Skywalker. They leave him behind, because Supreme Team Leader Ryan Reynolds here is just, nah, fuck him. We don't need him. We've used all the parkour we need anymore. He's good, leave him behind. So after they extract him, they broadcast something on TV, and that's just enough to start a revolution, apparently.
It's time for a revolution.
And the people, after seeing the 30-second broadcast, are like, he's right. That guy's right. I'm gonna go put on my Sprite t-shirt and riot through the streets. Just like this guy said. So now the people are angry, and the dictator runs his fancy yacht to hide. And now we get to see the real reason Michael Bay made this movie. Magnets. I am fairly confident that Michael Bay had an idea for a scene like this and just found a script that he could throw this scene into. Even though this is the coolest part in the entire movie, it's still not good or original. It's just trying to rip off that Quicksilver moment from X-Men that people keep trying to replicate, but it's just never as good. This movie really felt like it was written by an AI that watched Deadpool like 1.5 times. And strangely enough, the guys who wrote this also wrote Deadpool, and some other movies I actually like Zombieland and Spiderhead. So I'm surprised this one is so terrible, because the other movies they've done I actually enjoy. Watching movies is like my main hobby that I enjoy. But when this movie ended, I was happy. I was finally free, can go do something else. And that's the harshest thing I can say about this. I like movies. I sit through bad movies, slow movies, good movies, but I did not enjoy Six Underground. And it was just terrible. It's just not entertaining, poorly made. I don't know how it was allowed to happen. And they tease, a second one at the end of this. I hope to God there's not another Six Underground. Please. I don't think there will be, but it's Netflix. I feel like I give them too much the benefit of the doubt. It's bad. This movie truly is Ryan Reynolds' worst movie since Green Lantern, which is the worst thing I can say about it. I mean, that's tough. My name's Steven, and this has been Hot Strike. If you have a movie or TV show you'd like to see a video about, please comment down below and make sure you subscribe, because most of our viewers are not subscribed. Thanks for watching, everybody.